I have a friend, very good friend of mine, from back in yeshiva. When we were in yeshiva, this guy, I learned he warmed the seat sometimes. Whatever, he wasn't, he was the kind of kid who today would get ADD pills and ADHD and whatever to keep him sitting down. For some reason, we decided that sitting down is the virtue and running around is not. So he couldn't sit down. This guy, before I tell you this one, he lives in a place called Kathmandu.
India.
What?
India. Nepal.
Nepal. Correct. That's where he lives. With his wife and kids. Except in the monsoon season when they go there to Israel, which is like a few months a year, 6 months a year, I think, and then they live there and come back. It's a lot of fun. And she's like the most balabatish lady you could ever imagine. He's, real fire. But she's like...
Nice lady.
Really like a flatbush kind of person. She's like a really balabatish, kind of thing. And she lives in Kathmandu. That's like the first thing you'd think from normality, but that's where she is. Anyway, so the first one says, he once he needed to toivel in a mikveh, there's no mikveh, and he saw a river flowing down. He really needed to know if the mikveh was good or not. So he couldn't, what do you do? So he hiked up the mountain for a couple of days to find the source of the river, found the source of the river, saw that it was a spring, said, okay, now it's good, and then he was fine. That's how he discovered what rivers are. Anyway, this guy was in my house last week. There's a shluchim conference, he comes to my house, the conference ended on Sunday, so whatever, he stayed a couple of days. Tuesday night he comes to my house, every year he comes. And we're talking, we're chatting, he came like 11 o'clock at night, spoke for a couple of hours. I said, Chesky, some stories. We live here in Brooklyn, it's so boring. You live in this most interesting place around, give me some stories. He said, I'll tell you an amazing one. You know a whole bunch of them, but here's one. So this past year on Pesach, he makes a Seder. He makes the largest Seder in the whole wide world. It was so big that he had to break it up into two. Imagine, Kathmandu has the biggest Seder in the world. And it was divided, it was just too many people, he couldn't handle it. So he's got Kathmandu and he's got Pokhara. Yeah, he says, okay, but then, he tells me, he's got this mischievous smile on his face. Yeah, but Kathmandu and Pokhara is too normal. It's like too mainstream. Sounds very mainstream. We've got a couple thousand people at each Seder. So he says, I needed a Seder which is more interesting to make. So I found another location. The location is on Mount Annapurna.
I don't know what it is.
Everest you heard of? Everest right there. So there's Everest, and then there's this other place which people go to, it's called Annapurna. Annapurna is an amazing climb, it's incredible. He decides he's making the Seder there. The way it works is, you go to climb for a week. It's a week of walking. There's no way to reach this place by any other way, by land that is, other than walking yourself. You can't get there by car. And it takes a week to get to this place. When you get there, there's a camp. It's in the middle of the climb of Annapurna. And everybody has to stay there for 24 hours if they value their lives. Because you have the air that is so thin, the altitude, that you have to acclimate to this place. And if you acclimate, then you can continue going up a mountain. So he says, that's what we're making the Seder. So he started a few years ago, and he says, over there I get the Ben HaChamishi, the fifth son. You know what the fifth son is?
The one who...
How many sons are there, brother? 4 sons. What's the fifth son?
One who doesn't come.
One doesn't make it to the Seder. So he's not a Russian, he's not a Tom, he's not an Edalishal, he's just not there. So he's like, okay, the fifth son, Pokhara and Kathmandu, those are my big starim. If you want to come to a Seder, you come to those big ones. Basically, if you're trying to run away from God, and you don't want to be at a Seder, you go in the middle of a climb, in Annapurna, I'm going to bring them the Seder right there in your face.
Oh, he doesn't tell them. They don't climb because of the Seder.
He comes, they climb.
He surprises them.
They climb because they climb. Well, now they know about it already. But so he makes a Seder right there. He gets about 100 people a year. This past year, 100 people in the middle of the climb. Yeah, not bad. This past year, the weather was bad. Weather over there has a lot of issues. You got to know. This past year, the weather wasn't good. So he's climbing up the mountain and he stops there in the middle. So they're climbing up and he sees that there's going to be very few people. He works out how many. He figures there's probably going to be 15% showing. So instead of getting 100 people, I'm getting 15. Now, is it worthwhile to go through all these sorrows and difficulties for 15 people? So he decided, okay, forget it. This year, we're not going to make the Seder over there. And the Seder is getting closer by, and it's getting closer and closer. It's like you're saying, 15 Jews are not going to have a Seder because I can't be bothered because it's only 15 Jews. But 15 fifth son. So like, he gets so guilty, Jewish guilt, he's like, I can't do this. Okay, I'm making a Seder. Goes over to Bachim and says, guys, you're going up there. Now listen, it's 2 days before Pesach, so the only way to get there now is by helicopter. I'm going to send you by helicopter, the way back you walk. So, you're going to go up there, you're going to land. When you land there, there's no phones. No cell phones. You call me up from a satellite phone, call me up, tell me what's going on, need me help, I'll help you. You make the Seder, after Yom Tov, you walk back. Shvi Shel Pesach, you're going to spend somewhere else over there with a few guys, because you won't make it back in time, because it takes longer than that to get down, and it'll be good. 2 Bachim get on the helicopter, and they arrive with matzah and wine and charesis and karpas and chazeres and more, and all the stuff they have with them, ready to make this Pesach Seder. Come by helicopter, the helicopter goes zzz, makes a big racket and lands on Anapunda. Call him up from the satellite phone. Rabbi Lifshitz, Akol Beseder. We're all good. There's this Israeli guy there, he's helping us out, everything's fine. Good? Excellent. He's happy, Baruch Hashem, going to worry about these Bachrim, everything's going fine. After Yom Tov, he's waiting to hear the results. They called him up, but he can't really hear. They told him, yeah, everything was fine, it was good. But he doesn't want to know what actually happened, and he can't get any report. Erev, the last days, Israeli guy walks in to Chabad house in Kathmandu. Comes in, long hair, looking like a hippie, completely irreligious, zero connection to anything. And he walks in, but they're used to this. He walks in, puts on a kippah, and he says, I'm here to celebrate Yom Tov with you. I want to be around for Yom Tov for the whole thing. And he goes over to Rabbi Lifshitz and he says, Tishma, I want to tell you about the Seder on Anapunda. I was just there, I flew back. And I want to tell you how the Seder was. I was the Israeli who helped them the whole time. Before I tell you how it was on the Seder, I want to tell you my background, who I am, what I'm about. He says, whoa, 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 don't tell me yet. Let's go by the meal, soon. By the meal, all the Israelis are going to be there, you're going to tell it to everyone. He says, deal. They come by the meal, the guy gets up to speak and he says, my name is so-and-so. I'm 38 years old, and I am completely irreligious. I have zero connection. Now, I grew up Haredi. I grew up from the whole thing. I grew up from. I went to yeshiva. I don't know if you've ever heard this kind of situation, but I went to yeshiva. I hated everyone. Whatever I did, they gave me a knas for coming late. They gave me a knas for so many knasses. They tried to give me this ADD thing and whatever. I couldn't take it. It was not for me. I fought with everybody in yeshiva, and I decided, Chevra, leitarot. I'm out of here. And I left. I left yeshiva. I became so irreligious that I got married. I have a few kids, 4 kids.
Married and not Jew.
Married someone Jewish, but not religious. We don't keep anything. We don't keep Kippur. We don't do anything, any holiday, nothing, to the extent that it's been 20 years that I'm not religious. I'm 38 years old, he says, and I went for Pesach away. I went for a hike, because there's a holiday in Israel on Pesach, Chufshat Pesach. My holiday on Pesach, where am I spending? I'm spending up, climbing, having fun. So I'm on the mountain, he says, And I'm looking in an apunda, I'm at the thing, and suddenly I see a helicopter landing. Now I'm a paramedic. And when a helicopter lands on an apunda, it can only mean one thing.
Trouble.
Medical emergency. Someone has fallen off some mountain, or something has happened, and the helicopter's coming to save them. So I'm looking and I'm saying, what could have happened? And I was on the other end somewhere, I hear the helicopter coming, so I dash, run. I arrive with all my stuff, whatever I have, I'm carrying my backpack with all the things, I'm coming, rushing there. How can I help you guys? Where's the emergency? What do I see? 2 bochum, hats and jackets, beards. They come out of the helicopter, they walk outside to the back, matzah to wazoo, wine, charoises, karpas, chazaris, and mar, all comes out. And I'm like, what are you guys doing here? They said, well, we came to make a Seder with all the Jews of Anapunda. He's like, all the Jews of Anapunda, really. And he says, and then I'm looking and I'm saying, they came for me. They landed over here, they came to make me a Seder. I'm like, just 1 second. How many Jews are there? I looked around, and indeed, we gathered about 15 Jews. And I understand, he says, Rabbi Lifshitz, I understand. You guys thought that it's only 15 Jews, and walking your car, is it worthwhile spending all this koyach and time and effort and everything on 15 Jews? But I say it was all for me. So I decided, that's it, I'm helping these guys. And all the memories of yeshiva, all that abuse in yeshiva, which I took, of screaming and shouting for coming late, for not coming, for the knas for this and knas for that, and you should wear your hat, and you should wear your this, and you should go to eat this and do that. All these no's. Suddenly everything by me looked, and I took a 180-degree turn, and I said, someone came out of their way, spent who knows how much money, how much effort, how much koyach, how much energy to land in the middle of Anapunda to make a Seder for me. At that moment, I decided, I'm turning my life around 180 degrees. You think you made a Seder for 15 people? I have a wife and 4 kids. That's another 5 you got. Right there's 20. I'm going home, I'm going to change the lives of my wife and my kids. I'm going to tell every single one of them that this amazing, incredible thing happened. And that this has got to be real and got to be true, because otherwise, why would they do it? Sometimes, the 180-degree can only happen on Anapunda. The only way to do it is if you're under the ground and you're like submerged, and someone comes over to you and says, you've got Mayim Chaim inside you. You've got deep waters. You know what Mayim Chaim means? Mayim Chaim is water that is living water, living beings are able to overflow and to affect others. If you're living, you're not just believing something yourself, you believe in it to such a degree that you actually overflow and change the whole world around you. This guy was living with this living water underneath him, but it wasn't living. Had someone found him before, it was like a Yevamuna, it was like, fine, you know what, I'll decide to come back. No, you can't be normal again. Normal ain't gonna fly over here. What he became, I said to Chesky, where did he go? What happened? It's like, I don't know, I can't keep in touch with everybody. Meet one at a time. But this is what he said he's gonna do. Hopefully he did it. When you take a Jew and you discover and you uncover the dust and the ground above him, the digging itself, you see, it's the fact that you went to such a lot of energy and such ends to be able to land in Anapunda and to bring in the thing Vayimtzeu shom be'er ma'im chayim, because Vayachper Av Yitzchak ben Noach.